Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode here on the PeerCraft server. So I know it's been a while since our last episode, but we're going to kind of jump right into this one. I first want to show you kind of what we've been doing around the base. So I put up a full-size beacon over here, and we put up a wall in our last live stream to go around our entire base. And this area back here is where we're going to put our garden. We'll probably have a pond with a couple trees and maybe a bridge or something. And we might put some squids in that pond just to kind of give it some live animals in there, something like that. But we're not going to work on that today. What we are working on today is down in our basement right here. So in our live stream before our last live stream, we worked on this wall here. Working on a design for our refined storage to just make it look good. But we're going to be getting rid of refined storage in this episode. So hopefully we can keep these designs that we've got going here with the dented block and the bricks. But we're not going to be using refined storage. We're going to be using Ender IO storage, which should be pretty easy to put together. It's with these blocks right here. So it goes all the way from tiny inventory system to, I think, that's a warehouse. This one here. No, huge, enormous. There it is. So we've got to kind of do a crafting tunnel here where we're crafting these into these into these into these, and so on and so forth until we get to enormous, which holds about 30,000 items. Which is going to be a little bit of a problem for us considering we've got about, I'd say, million or two items. So my rough estimate on that is we're going to need about 100 of the enormous ones in order to get a safe amount of storage for our base. But we also need to make one of these inventory panels, which is a little bit expensive. We've got the dark steel ready to go, and the pulsating crystals should be pretty cheap for us to do. But this sentient ender is going to be a little bit more expensive, where we need a soul vial with a witch in it, and an ender resonator and a soul binder. And I believe we may have an ender. Yeah, okay, we got 13 of those. And I went out and found another witch. It actually spawned right in the back of our base here. So let's see, soul vial, and we should have two witches. Yeah, there's one, there's the other. I'm glad I found a second one because I didn't want to have to make this one into a powered spawner right now and then have to deal with it after. So it's pretty decent that we're able to just do this now. So now that we've got that done, we should be able to craft this up immediately. So let's see, let's go back to Ender IO. And the reason we're moving away from refined storage is there's a bug in 1.10.2 where it's just not very efficient and it's very laggy for us. The refined storage itself creates a lot of lag, whether or not it's from the crafters themselves, these guys here, or the solderers or the disk drives. Something in refined storage is causing a bunch of lag, and it's a known issue, but it's an issue that probably won't ever be fixed. So that's why we're moving away from refined storage and getting into Ender IO, which should work just fine for us. We shouldn't run into any issues with Ender IO. So that's why we're going to it. And what are we missing? One more thing. Fluid tank, okay. Let's craft 2 of those. There we go. Alright, so inventory panel is done. And this is going to be the hardest thing we make, is this inventory panel. So we're going to go ahead and stick that in the top of our inventory there. And we should be good to make this guy here, the tiny inventory module. So I've made a couple of these remote awareness upgrades. We should have some dark iron bars still. I don't know if we're going to have any chests left, but these guys here are going to be something we need quite a few of. So we're going to need to make those. But the hardest part about this, I think, is what we're going to do is use these crafters one last time before we get rid of them. And I'm going to set all of this stuff here up to auto craft, and hopefully we can get that going. So I'm going to see about doing that. And if I get that going, we'll come back and start doing that. If not, we'll come back and do that manually ourselves. Okay, so I ran into a little hiccup, and that little hiccup is actually a huge hiccup for us. So we're running out of electrical steel, I believe is what it is, that we need to make these remote awareness upgrades and a lot of other stuff from Ender.io. And that becomes an issue for us because we don't have a way to automate that right now. So I actually took down all of the solderers to give us room to do this. But so in this one and this one's going to be making coal powder. And then this one, we're just going to have iron, silicone, and the coal powder running into that. And that's going to give us the electrical steel. So the first thing we need to do is grab some coal from here. And we don't have very much of it, so we're just going to auto-craft it. And that should be good enough for now. Hopefully we don't need any more than that. Oh, that's going to be a problem too. All right, well, we're just going to kind of break our entire system here real quick. And then we'll have to dump the coal. There we go. Okay, so now this should work. So we'll stick all this in here. And we'll have this pull from that chest. Just like that. And where is that running to? That should be throwing it immediately in there. Perfect. Okay, now we just need iron and silicone. Let me throw those in there. We'll put that back on our hotbar. We're not going to need these cables. Probably won't need that bucket for a while. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Let's get rid of that chisel for now too. And we'll put the hammer on the hotbar. There. Alright, so we'll grab a full inventory, or whatever space we've got left of iron. Throw that in this chest. And then we'll go grab that silicone, which we actually might need to have auto-craft for us, because we're going to run out of that pretty quickly. So I'll have to check and see which one of these has the silicone in it. Let's see. It's probably the one all the way at the end there. Yeah, it's going to be this one, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So we'll have to hook this back up. And then we'll be able to auto-smelt the silicone. So let's grab the cable. We actually should just need cables. Which means we should actually be able to just take that out, and that out, and that, and that. Okay, we should be good now. Let's grab some cable. There we go. And we should be able to run this just like this. Perfect. That actually worked pretty good. Alright, so now I should be able to auto-craft silicone. Let's say do 640. Perfect. So we'll let that run in the background, and then all we'll need is to throw the silicone that we have here into there, and that should start auto-crafting up. Perfect. So we're going to need a lot of the electrical steel, so I'm going to let this run for a little while, and then we'll come back and start doing some crafting on the Ender.io storage unit. Alright, so we got a bunch of the electrical steel smelted up now, so we should be good to start crafting some of this stuff. The remote awareness upgrades, we're going to need probably somewhere in the 100 area of these, so we'll probably just try to craft as many as we can. We got about 37. We're going to need probably just some silicone for that. So let's start crafting some of that. Is that not coming back? It's not. Okay. So it looks like we broke the chain. Okay, so what do we just need? Cables? I think we just need cables to hook that back up. We got 5. Hopefully that's enough. So we should be able to just run that just like this. Straight into that. And then the silicone should come back. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. Alright. So let's pull up Ender.io again. And we can start crafting these again. I might end up... Yeah, okay. I ended up with probably a little bit too much on that. We'll throw all this electrical steel in there, and we've got a stack of these, so that should be decent enough. Let's make some of these. Let's see if we can get a stack of those. Yeah, we can. Okay, fantastic. Let's see if we can get more than that. A little about 80 of them. That should be good. And then chests. Just regular chests. I don't want trap chests. Let's see. What do we have for wood? Birchwood. Okay. Alright, so let's get 2 stacks of those. Maybe, let's do 6 stacks of chests. That's enough. Okay. And there's a pigman. Hi, pigman. This should be the last thing we need. Let's see if we can get 4 stacks of that. Because I think we're going to need those for every upgrade here. And then we should have enough dark iron bars for now. So we should be good to craft these. Okay, we got 56 of those. We ran out of the dark iron bars, which should be okay. So we've got tiny inventory system now. So let's upgrade that. Oh, no, we're going to need more dark iron bars. Looks like we need that for at least the first upgrade. Oh, we're going to need them for all the upgrades. Okay, I'll probably have to set up another system over here to get the dark steel going so that we can make the dark iron bars. So I'll get that going, and we'll come back once I got some dark steel. Alright guys, so we got that dark steel done. Now we're good to craft this stuff into those dark iron bars. So we'll stick all that in there. And I think we should be good to make 4 stacks. We shouldn't need much more than that. Actually, we will. Let's just craft all of it up. And now we'll go back into Ender.io. I might unsync this. This is... Every time I search for something in here, it changes over here because that's the way I changed it. But it's not exactly fantastic. Alright, so let's see. How many more of these can we make? 15. And then let's do this. We should get... Yeah, okay, there's the 56. What did we run out of, though? We didn't run out of the tiny ones. Chests. Okay. How many more kinds of planks do we have? Cherry wood, plenty. Alright, so we'll make some cherry wood chests. Which are just normal chests, actually. There we go. We'll make 3 stacks of those. Yeah, okay, that's all we can make. We'll make that much. And then let's... Not that. That's what I want. I want normal for that. Let's get rid of that. And then we can just search Ender.io in here. And that'll stay now. Okay, so we need the small ones now. So we'll stick those there. And what do we run out of? Okay, the chassis plates. So those are pretty easy to make. We'll get another stack of those going. There we go. Okay, so we'll have a little over a stack of these when we're done. So now we can go in on the mediums, and we shouldn't run out of anything except for these here, these chassis plates. Yeah, there it is. Let's see about making 4 stacks of those. Yeah, and let's go back. There we go. Perfect. Now we'll go big. Stick those there. And then large. And I think we should be coming to the end here. Okay, we ran out of more chassis. And that's all we can make of those. Where were we? Large or huge? Large, okay. And we ran out of chests. Okay, so we're out of planks. Okay, what do we got for logs then? Let's try wood. Plenty of cherry wood. Okay, let's do cherry wood. We'll get those all up into planks.
And we'll stick those back in. We'll also stick those chests in. We shouldn't need those. We shouldn't need any of these, actually. And then we'll get some chests going. Perfect. That should be more than enough. Whoa. Is it raining? I think it's raining. Yep. Thunderstorm. Alright, so we're working on large. We just got, what, 11 left to craft of those. Yeah, there we go. Huge now. And we ran out of those chassis again. Okay, and we're going to need to make the actual chassis. Let's turn that off. Those ambient sounds. Yeah, there we go. Let's get that off so we don't hear thunder all day. What are we going to need to make these? I think we're going to need basic capacitors. Yeah, okay. And we're going to need copper to do those. Copper and gold. So I'm going to need to smelt up some copper. So we'll get working on the copper, and then I'll come back and bring you guys back when we're done that.
Alright, so we got all these done here. I went ahead and crafted all the way up to the top. There were actually 2 more levels than what I thought. So we're up to inventory system storage extended. I believe, or was it warehouse? Oh, yeah, no, okay, it just comes underneath. Yeah, it's the warehouse, the extended warehouse that we're looking at. So we're good to put these up. And I put up 10 here just so I could figure out if this was going to work down below. So these all right here are just the painted conduit facades. So if we hold a conduit, you can see. So I'm glad we were able to keep this same design we had before and still run the conduits underneath. So I don't know if we're going to run the fluid conduits, but right now we've got power conduits and item conduits. So we should be good now to run all of these above. And we're going to run some of these backwards, and I don't think that's going to be a problem. So let's see. Can I wand the rest of these? Oh, I can. Fantastic. And it should mess up right at the top here. Oh, it didn't. Okay. But that did use all of them except for 1. Which is perfect, actually. Okay, yeah, that worked out perfectly. So now we just need to make up some item conduits. I'd say about 60 item conduits should do it. I don't believe we have any. Let's see. No, we don't have any item conduits. So let's make up some of those. Oops. There we go. What are we missing here? Pulsating iron. Okay, we've got that. So we'll do the pulsating iron. Turn those into... Oh, okay. What do we run out of this time? The binding powder? Do we have enough to do this? Yes, we do. Okay. So we'll stick that in there. And we'll smelt that up, and that should be just fine. Alright, so that's all smelted up. So we're good to make item conduits again. That should definitely be enough. And then we just need energy conduits. We're out of those as well. Perfect. Yeah, that got a pretty even amount of those for both. So we'll stick these in now. The only issue is we've got to make sure we do this correctly. And 1 row at a time. So this is going to just take a couple seconds to get down. Oh, a little lag there. That was weird. I'm pretty sure we need... Yeah, there we go. That was weird. Yeah, we should need item conduits. I'm pretty sure we need item conduits. It doesn't look like these are really hooking up together, but we should need both energy and item, is what I'm thinking. But it only looks like... I mean, now it looks like both of them are hooked up, but... It didn't look like the item conduits were hooking up by themselves. Yeah, they're definitely not. So I'm not sure if we need both item and energy for this to work. But it's my understanding that we do. So we're going to place them down. Worst case scenario, we don't need the item conduits. And we just have them there just in case. And we might actually have to come back and add fluid conduits anyway. So We'll end up probably having to tear this down at some point, so it's not going to matter if we've got if we've got something and we don't need it, because at some point we're going to need something else anyway, so it's not going to matter too much. But I'll finish placing all these in, and then we'll come back as soon as this is done and get this started up. Alright, so these are all hooked up in the back, and now we should just need a bucket, which should be in refined storage. There it is. To grab one of these nutrient distillations and stick it right here. And I should be able to fit 2 buckets in there. Yep, just 2. But now we should be able to store some stuff in here. Or not. Why not? Do I actually have to, like, stick the items in these? That would be really weird if I had to. Let me see. Do I need these on insert? I might need these all on insert. Let me take this chest down. And this right there. Let's take that down. Stick the chest there. And that should have hooked up. Let's take a look. It may have, but we're not going to be able to see because of the conduit facades. Let's just break these 2. Let's just break all the cables. We shouldn't need this to auto do anything anymore, so we should be good without any of that. Let's stick this chest here. That's on extract. So if I stick that in there... I was hoping that was going to go in somewhere. If I do insert there, no. Okay. A lot of these should be fully powered now. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's still not extracting. But this is powered and this should be working now. Yeah, it holds 2 buckets. Doesn't look like the buckets last very long. That might be a problem all in itself. What's the return area? Items placed here can be extracted by an item conduit but will not be used for crafting. Okay. That's not what I want that for. Do I need a remote awareness upgrade, maybe? Let's craft one of these and see if that works. Let's craft 2 just in case I need to put one in the conduit themselves. Where would this go? Not there. Okay. Does it go in the actual storage unit? I've got this one on insert, so let's see. That maybe? No. Do I need a filter? Let's do that. No. Okay, I'm going to take a look at this. Probably take down all these conduits here and build them back up as we go and find out what's going wrong here. So I'll take a look and hopefully I can figure this out. Alright, so I figured out what was going wrong with this system here. And I actually did a lot more stuff after I figured it out. So all of these just have to be set to insert, which I figured was going to need to be done, and I didn't do it. So I had to rip all this down and set it all to insert. And then you don't actually need any of the awareness things, the tickets that go in here. You don't need any awareness ones when you're working with Ender IO storage to Ender IO storage. If I wanted to directly hook this chest up, which technically I'm not, so that's why I don't need any in these conduits here, because technically I'm just running these into those, not necessarily this into that. I'm just transferring the items from this into there from refined storage, so that's why I don't need any awareness upgrades here. But this was taking a little while, so we're moving sand right now, and it was going a little slow, so I hooked up 5 item conduit sets with 15 upgrades each. So before, just to put that into perspective for you, it was taking out about 16 blocks at a time, and all of this was completely full with sand. So it would take out 16 4 times and then put 64 back from refined storage after that was moved. I put 15 upgrades on one side, and it was doing about 2 stacks at a time. And then I moved it up to 5, and now the chest's empty, even though you can't even tell that stuff is moving from refined storage to Ender IO. But it is. So pretty stoked this system's up and working now. The only issue I've seen that we're going to run into is this system doesn't register that things have been put in there very quickly. So the stuff I just put in there now just popped up a couple seconds later, but sometimes it takes a lot longer than that for stuff to pop up. And I don't know if that's lag caused by refined storage, just causing this to take a little bit longer, or if that's just this system. But what I did was hooked up a vat here. So this thing runs off nutrient distillation, which we don't have a steady supply of right now. We've got a good supply of it, just not a steady supply. So I've got water coming from here. This drum evidently is empty. We've got about 14 buckets of water in there, 8 more in there, and we ran out of sugar. So this takes heads and some source of raw food. I don't think steak or anything like that cooked works, but I used sugar and skulls, as those are really something that we've just got hundreds and thousands of. So we're going to use that to make the nutrient distillation, which then runs into this tank here, which then runs straight into this drum. So the tank's not going to matter much. The drum is where all of it is being stored. And if this gets full, there's like no hope for this fluid tank doing any good. Because this is like 40,000 buckets and this is 8. So it actually might be less than that. This might be like 400 buckets or 4,000 buckets, and this is still only 8. So, or 8 or 16. So this isn't going to help us at all if this drum backs up, but it's there just so that we can have a buffer system. And then this has got that running straight in there with a pressurized fluid conduit. I don't know if it needs to be pressurized. It just is, just in case it needed to be. I wouldn't have to put it in there twice. But so basically this is what's going on. Yeah, we're moving everything from refined storage to Ender IO storage. And we might need to make some more of these before that buffers out. Some of these are getting kind of full. I think I'd say we probably have about half of them full right now, just with sand. So that's a little bit of an issue on our part. But once we get most of that stuff emptied out, we can start moving more of these over to this side here and put another 60 over here. And then, of course, we can go back as far as we need to over here. Just as long as we keep this same setup, we shouldn't run into any issues. But that's Ender IO storage for you. So hopefully this reduces the lag other people are having on the server. Hopefully it reduces the block lag that we've been getting. And yeah, hopefully all lag in general from refined storage goes away. And the server runs fantastic again. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. So that being said, this is going to be the last episode we have for about the next 3 weeks or so. Unless if I have a dramatic change to my schedule, which unfortunately it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So we'll try to keep the live streams going. I'll see what I can do on that. But I'm not going to be able to record on the current system I have right now for about 3 weeks again. So this will probably be the last episode, but we might have some live streams going. You guys can catch me in that. But we probably won't work on anything tech-wise in the live streams. Probably just base building-wise or stuff like that, or resource gathering, or expanding this storage unit might be something we work on as well in a live stream. But probably nothing too advanced tech-wise, so you guys don't miss out on too much. But I appreciate you guys watching this episode, and I appreciate you guys' patience with me putting out the next episode in quite a little bit from now. But I'll catch you guys in the next episode here on the PeerCraft server.